pole position feels pretty cool. So yeah, just want to thank the team, you know, all our partners, Castrol, and you know, everyone that stuck by us.
It was a front row start yesterday, and it was an absolute ripper. How do you replicate it again today?
Well, that's a good question, Jess. So I've got to just stick to my, you know, my technique and just follow my procedure. And fingers crossed, if I can do that to the best of my ability, then we can get a good start. But yeah, we're obviously the right-hand side this time, so see how that goes. But yeah, looking forward to it, and hopefully we can have a good run down in turn 1.
You're confident you got the race pace? Have you done anything to tune up the car to be there to take it to the likes of Brody Kostecki today?
I bloody hope so. So yeah, we've dialed it up a little bit, I hope, and you know, just chasing a couple of small things that should hopefully help us. So you know, also tune myself up. I think there's always been a time with the driver, as much as we don't want to admit it. But fingers crossed we can stick it to him and get a forward across the line from home first.
Get after it this afternoon, Thomas, at the very best.
Thanks, Jess. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
As we come down to race start here at the Medlex, John, how come to
Just looking forward to seeing what Thomas can produce for us this afternoon. It's been a great weekend for him so far. So let's just have a look on the venue for you for tonight, and it's a car for you what we saw yesterday afternoon. We've got 20 laps for we'll see them again. Considerations, it is a double soft tyre weekend. Yesterday we saw Brody Kostecki run out to that window a lot further out. He ran 2 laps further than those that he was racing nearby, but ended up finishing 2nd and 3rd. So do you play the overcut to see whether you can get the most out of your tyres, run longer, get some nice, fresh, sharp tyres on it for the back section of the race, or do you go with the undercut? We saw the likes of James Courtney do that yesterday, and Brock Feedy, and that worked out pretty well. And the big question, do you take 2, 3? I can't see too many people taking 4 tyres because you've got to spend too long here in pit lane. And so yesterday we only saw people taking rears 2 at a time on the back. Maybe today, if we don't get the beautiful part of this region just near the Murray River, and it's almost the intersection where you turn off to the left to go to New South Wales, or you turn to the right and head down to Melbourne. And on behalf of Pizza Hut, let's just have a look at this layout, because in terms of the number of corners and the amount of turning that you do at this place, it's one of the highest levels of driver input of anywhere that we go. It's just under 5k, it's got 18 corners, got quite a lot of elevation change. We've built it into 3 sectors. We're not really worried about those sectors today, because what Neil was explaining before are the critical aspects down to turn 1 and the way that you get through that first part of the race. It's always so wild there. Let's take a look at our Panasonic starting grid, because a remarkable performance by this young man, Thomas Randall, the 71st pole position getter in the history I've had to cope with when they drove out this morning with a completely different set of circumstances, and the car balance massively different. A lot more oversteer today. Everyone basically saying the same thing. So the big, strong southerly that we were experiencing yesterday is almost not there at all now. In fact, it might be even just be slightly from the north, but the flags are hardly moving. Neil Crompton's just walked back in. It's actually quite warm out there now, isn't it?
I just jettisoned the Supercars jacket coming up the stairs to get back to the box. It's quite mild. It's about, well, it's just on 16 according to Kostecki. Got young Matt Payne, standout performer on row 2, position 3. Shane Van Gisbergen, who's moved up now in 2nd in our championship as well. And it's only 80 points that margin, as I mentioned a few moments ago. And Olympus Pasquale showing the sort of pace that we probably expected Yesterday, unfortunately, though, for both Anton and for Will, they got trapped at the back end of Q2 in the elimination qualifying. Thought their time was safe, it wasn't, and that meant their qualifying position was somewhat out of kilter and they were buried. This is a great story. 20 years of age, from New Zealand, Penrite Racing. A lot of faith being shown by Stephen and Brenton Grove with this young fella, and he's repaying the faith. And he's been working his way successfully through junior categories of motorsport, making it into the big time of supercars in Australasia. And I thought that his performance in qualifying was a great turnaround from where he's been. He went through a bit of a slump in the early months. He's got a reasonable start and then things went quiet. And yesterday and today, nice work. Looking down the side, Thomas Randall's car. And that's right on the screen. He's in the field. And he's one of us. The corner is the sort of knowledge that you can possibly imagine with the track and car in careers and everything else that done in junior motorsport. We've got 4 South Australians out there as well. So there's a bit to cheer for several drivers out there. Prospect of firing missiles down the outside. You happen to be buried down the order, and there are a few names that are buried down the order at the moment. You look at Rock Feeney in 12th, Cam Waters in 11th, Jack Rock's down in 13th, Will Brown is in 16th position, Andre Heimgartner in there as well. I heard you mention, as I was coming back, Mark, Bryce Forward. I just saw him on the way to the grid. He said, what did you do? And he goes, tiniest little tweaks to get it to turn. Just wasn't turning. He said 3 small changes and she's a jet.
Green flag, green flag.
Doesn't that sound fantastic? The spectacular 25-car field of supercars launches off the line at the bend for the second time this weekend. And it's a very even drag race at the moment between Kostecki and Randall. Payne's made a very good start. He's threatening on the inside. Brody's on the ideal race line. Can he tuck it down and command? This was where all the trouble unfolded yesterday, and Brody does manage to grab the lead through turn 2. Van Gisbergen hungry on the inside, position number 3. We're cleanly through the first couple of corners.
I was surprised that Brody was able to get around the inside at turn 2 there, because I thought Thomas had him. They were basically around turn 1 together, but nice move there, and there's going to be contact. Big contact, and they're spinning. Waters is gone. Is that Davison or Anton?
The front is through the lot of me.
Rock down the inside. It was Davison.
Disastrous start, unfortunately for Cam Waters. Jack LeBrock having a big lunge down the inside, didn't work. And unfortunately, it's clean bowled several of them down there. Will Davison's a victim in the process as well. 0.2 of a second the margin, Brody over Thomas. And Reynolds sticking right with him on the exit of turn 13. Race control confirming they'll investigate what's going on down there at turn 6 on the opening lap, as they should. So that was a wild moment down there, and unfortunately it hasn't worked out, and it's left several people in the shots.
Thomas
I could
Randall.
hear tyres yelping in the background, and there was a bit of unsettled braking down there between the leaders into the first turn, and ditto for Bryce Forward. So Waters and the Brock have had to come into the lane as a result of the damage that they'll have sustained in that moment down there at turn 6. Here is Cam.
Team brief, dude.
So they'll stick it in the garage here in Cam,
Yeah, see that.
suggesting that it's got a big steering arm. Frustrating to only get 5.5 corners into the race for him. Kostecki, Randall, Van Gisbergen, Payne, David Reynolds, his teammates right behind Matt Payne.
He's not losing any ground, Randall, on Kostecki. He's doing a really good job hanging in there. It's so important in terms of track position and clear air. And he was celebrating yesterday, Thomas Randall, about having clear air and leading the race. And now he knows it's up to him to go tomorrow, and he's going to have to put a move on to establish that clear air if he's able to. And the 2 spots
Thomas Randall, and they now launched Jack LeBrock back out into the field after losing laps. And has been able to show more pace later in the race sequence. So we'll see what racing team and whether they're running long, as we've seen many times. He's off the back of 3 race victories in the Supercars last year. Good opportunity for us to look over Brodie's shoulders here as well now and see what his car's behaving like.
I was wondering his highest Percat did because his stop was 7.1 seconds. But they had a problem with the left rear.
David Reynolds has come out of the sequence now just to get out of the traffic here as well. And Tim Slade's in the background in the Newlon entry.
That is clever from that team because they were caught up together. And where's the region? There's Forward coming.
You hear those cold tyres just as he launched out of the pit lane. Wheel spinning and chattering in first and then even in second gear. Back up to temperature. 30 laps from that. And a steady state at the moment at 3/4 of a second between Kostecki and Randall.
And your point there, as they wheel spin coming out, with the gearing that we're using this weekend, it's just over the Australian maximum speed, 11 kilometres an hour in first gear. So you're getting out of the pit lane. By the time you get to second gear, you're going faster than you're allowed to.
Close to You think about where he peeled off from, was it 4th position? Yeah. So you can now see Thomas Randall, 2.5-second margin, having still been Van Gisbergen, and that time that Reynolds just achieved on that lap was a 52.1.
Just looking at those pit stops. Forward on our numbers, Forward did a 2.4. Wow, that's unbelievable.
Those pit stop competition, they've been that way now for several years. 2.6 seconds gap, Kostecki, Van Gisbergen on margin. Leaded to first car in the Cairns. Seconds from today's in terms of consistency, so just focusing on this stop here of Will's. Did you get the numbers between Thomas and Will?
No, I was in
4.2, yeah, so it was a little bit slower. The blend is going to be very important here. How tight is this going to be? He had some margin in hand. He's still got some in hand, but he's got cold rear tyres to metal. So a genuine net gain here by Reynolds, and his teammate Payne in the background's also made good here. He's got 2.4-second margin. First car in the queue that stopped is Brodie Kostecki, and he is 36.5 seconds behind Shane Van Gisbergen. So now it's a question of what Van Gisbergen can do in the back end of this, because the other car has very difficulty some benefit to Reynolds and Payne, and to a degree even Randall. We'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? As you said, we've seen Shane do the opposite to everybody else. And it
Numbers are against them at the moment in today's conditions for sure.
nicely done. Fanny's trying to Courtney fires the Snowy River Caravans Mustang straight down the inside. Was able to capitalise on the cold tyre for Brock. That might come back and haunt him in 2 or 3 laps. There's the number there. Feeney stopped 3 seconds.
This was a pretty decent stop, and that's dropped him in between Pay and Di Pasquale, and we've only got 2 to be processed. So we've got Kostecki, Randall, Reynolds, 1, 2 and 3. Van Gisbergen's only 0.9 of a second off the back of David Reynolds, and then Matt Payne is about the same distance. Here we are with Brodie.
Little spots of water on that windscreen there in the middle of the field. So as he's going through the centre of the track there, you can see those little bits of drizzle.
Not letting him go, is he? No, he's staying, he's just haunting him there.
And looking at how much trouble that Dave Reynolds was in a minute ago, you would think that Mostert, given the pace that he's had over the last couple of laps and the move he's been able to put
He's well incentivised. He did it yesterday. David's got a bit of a battle on his hands at the moment with the back of that car. 2 laps remain. Brodie Kostecki's got the devil's number. He's .666. But it's enough. He's got the fresh air on his side. So Kostecki from Randall. Reynolds position number 3. Mostert 4 from Van Gisbergen, Payne. Di Pasquale forward, Feeney and Heimgartner. And far from resolved for the Miners.
and fastest lap on the last lap was Randall. So Rollins, he's about to get an Optus Mustang so heavily in his mirror.
The bonus points for the fastest lap at the moment are with Brodie Kostecki. He's done the quickest lap of the race at 52.1. Did that pretty early on. Let's check out this margin and see what it looks like.
A move on Feeney.
Remember, he's got pretty young tyres on the back of that RJ Batteries entry. Position number 3, Reynolds has a punch in position 3 or turn 3 to try and get back position 3. He's got some pace going here at the moment, Chaz. He's 1.9 seconds away.
Oh, and that's
Alistair McVeigh, frustration on his face.
We didn't block, that's why. So Al's bluing because David should have been over on the inside of the road. So you might as well have flashed the lights and waved him through.
1.1 seconds Kostecki over Randall. 1.8 seconds Randall to Mostert, and 0.4 between Mostert and David Reynolds. So has Reynolds got anything to respond with here on the back of the Mustang? And then looking further afield here, we've got Van Gisbergen, Payne, Di Pasquale, forward, Feeney, Heimgartner.
Payne's having a real crack at Shane.
He must be carrying some wounds on those tyres from the lockup that we saw there before.
He's having a real crack at him. Shane covers him. He'll try to do the crisscross. He'll try to run back on the inside for the double left. Now the deal for him now is to try to
Yeah, guys, it's a pretty big steering problem. Is exactly what he reported back to George Commons, and that's exactly what he was being haunted with for the pretty much second half of that race. And consistently, George just kept telling him, your pace is good, you're still the quickest, still the quickest, and coached him through it.
Yeah, nice job. And that was a good report. That narrative, that sports psychology, he continues with this championship hunt, Neil, and he's been able to get the points out further again.
Yeah, so builds now to another victory, double dose for him, so fine performance, and he gets 105 points because of the win and the bonus points for the fastest lap in the race. Second from Thomas position, nice blast at the back end of that one for Chaz. David Reynolds in fourth position, hanging on from Shane Van Gisbergen, who was under pressure from Matt Payne in the last couple of corners. Then Anton Di Pasquale, Bryce forward, Brock Feeney and Andre Heimgartner. That's our 10 onto the second page, and you can see the James Courtney, Dick Burkett, Will Brown, Declan Fraser, Scott Hyde, Todd Hazelwood, Mark Winterbottom, who did move up a bit, Tim Slade, Macaulay Jones next in the queue, Cam Hill, Smith, Davison, unfortunate day for Will Davison, controls and Waters and were also involved in what happened down there at turn 6. In all cases, they were 16 laps to his name, so it cleared the 75% minimum of 15 laps. Still here again today by Brody Kostecki, who's now got more race victories in 2023 than any other driver, despite the niggles that were making him again. That this he's been still stitching together a very nice drive today, building off the back of what happened yesterday. So he rolls it into perfect victory lane and makes it performance by Thomas Randall. So 2 podiums, 2 days for him, and the same deal with Chaz Mostert. So it's the same 3 people, and the sort order is slightly different between second and third position, but we're all thrilled to see Thomas Randall getting such a solid result. So Brody steps out. Both boys congratulate each other, Thomas Randall in the Castrol suit, Brody Kostecki, our race winner today. Remember, we've got another one coming up later on this afternoon too, so we'll do another 20 laps and another 100. So anyway, he's got the job done, and he's consolidating his position, isn't he? Starting to open up that margin in the championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a race that was. The same as yesterday for 1, 2, 3. And our champions of the supercars, after their post-race interviews, will be walking through the Welcome Centre, where we want you to come on down and cheer them on as they make their way to the town centre.
The second day in a row, Thomas Randall has done a brilliant job. Tommy, congratulations. You know what's better than 1 podium? 2 podiums. Congratulations. That was an epic drive this afternoon. Just talk to us about the drag off the start line. It was pretty even between you and Brody.
Yeah, I think it was even, but they both weren't very good starts. So definitely had more wheel spin, and I thought I was going to get eaten up. But yeah, we gave each other room into one.
Team sports, this is a very important battle for all team racing, and we're because they covered their position in the pit lane here. It's only a 62-point margin between Erebus and Triple A at the moment, and then a pretty chunky margin back to Pro Jones Racing. And just to call out once again for that pit stop that they had, that's still officially on our numbers as 2.4 seconds to run 20 kilos of wheel and tyre. This is what the podiums are word with God.
Thanks, Neil. Here we go, Reynolds.
He's after them. So it's been a pretty clean start in the cold tide first half of this lap. Beyond Payne and Sting Swiley and then Davison, then Bengus moving forward, caught the out 10. There's our race leader, and he's already got a 6-second margin. I think his was behind him. He and his teammate Chaz Foxton have done a remarkable job. Energy converting those cars off the line with just the right amount of wheel spin to get them launched. Will Brown, he's down the order at the moment in 13th position, trying to make up for a difficult weekend. Now, I think it was Van Gisbergen coming up.
That's moves and drop the line.
Davison, Deep Smiley, Monty, penalty, Beanie Foster.
What a weekend for this young man. Back from the brickyard to the bend, and he's had a very difficult assignment in terms of making sure that you're not too jet lagged and get yourself organised to drive these cars again, do all the stuff, come into this weekend, 41 points up the road on his teammate going into this race. He was 111 points up the road on GB Gisbergen, so he was able to extend the lead through the course of the weekend so far on 70 points.
He is throwing everything at it. You can sense it from the body language of the car. You can see the way that it's sliding. He's flicking the lights on. He's trying to play a distraction game if he can. He's throwing everything he's got to try and crush down the margin. He came here this weekend with 2 victories to his credit with Tickford. He would dearly like to be able to win this one, but I think Brody's going to bring him home. 14 and 15 for the last time. Down this little undulation. Still 0.7 of a second. He has to think about it. He shows the nose. He's trying to create any form of distraction. But this guy's focus is solid. Misteki is not going to move his focus on the time as he comes out of the final corner. Brody Misteki rides it.
trophy presented by Dr. Sarah and V8 Energy Australia. And presenting our first place trophy to Brody Kostecki is Scott Wyatt, V8 Energy Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your race 22 OTR Super Sprint Podium. Thank you, South Australia.